But actually, I'm not really apologetic about any of my films. I'm not. I mean, we all work very hard on our films, and um, Dabangg 3 I produced was directed by Prabhu Deva. Salman did his hard work. Fortunately, unfortunately, sometimes films don't meet the kind of success. Few things that obviously is on a public platform, I wouldn't like to discuss that, but we know a few things that we didn't get right in Dabangg 3, and we will be conscious of those things in 4 when we do it. Inshallah, we will do it.
Firstly, Arbaz sir, welcome to Pinkula. It's lovely having you here.
Thank you. It's great to be on the show. Yeah.
So, the first question to you is, how do you see the advent of digital medium over the last 1.5 years? There is so much traction that content is getting on the digital world, including your own show. So,
yeah. So basically, because of the lockdown and the fact that people were at home, I think by default, people have, got hooked on to watching stuff as home entertainment. And, I had subscribed to Netflix and Amazon and a couple of these digital platforms for the longest time, but the amount of stuff that I saw in the 1.5 years or 2 years of this period was much more than what I saw in the last 4 years of having Netflix and Amazon. So it just kind of gave you enough time to catch up, and then now it has become quite I would say almost like an addiction. People now constantly watch stuff. So it was always going to happen sooner or later, but I think it got fast tracked because of the lockdown and people spending time at home and finding home entertainment, and also all these digital shows, all these web series, and people using this medium has become quite a lot. So basically, like I said, because the last 1.5 years plus people have been spending a lot of time at home due to the lockdown, I guess everybody found something to keep themselves busy, and home entertainment became quite the thing.
And so, you have spoken in multiple interviews about how it was a conscious decision to not bring Salman on the first season and to bring him on the second season of the show.
Right.
My question is not about him coming to second season, but people often talk about pros of being brother to someone who is as huge as Salman Khan, who is the biggest star of the show. But what do you feel are the cons of being a brother to someone like Salman Khan?
I don't really think there is any disadvantage of being a brother to a star like Salman Khan. Realistically, what would there be?
But does it add?
It's very easy to turn around and say that the expectations are very high and all. But I chose this profession, right? It's not been trusted onto me. I chose it. I wanted to be in a profession in which my father was Salim Khan and my brother is Salman Khan. It's not their lookout, or it's not their worry to see what pressures that I go through, and it's not even my concern to worry about what people think in terms of comparisons. I'm fighting my own wars. I've got my own journey. Maybe in terms of popularity or in terms of the star status, I may have not reached, or probably definitely have not reached the stature of, say, Salman Khan in terms of popularity or wherever. But I'm on my way. I'm getting there. I enjoy what I do, and I don't have any pressures, and I don't look at it as a negative thing. I mean to say, if somebody doesn't make it, it's very easy to turn on and say, कि बड़े पेड़ के नीचे छोटा पेड़ पनपता नहीं है, so it's that's an excuse, and I would never like to use that as an excuse. I didn't make it because my brother was too big a star, and the expectations were too high, and if I was not his brother, it would have been different. I don't think so. I think there have been so many cases of people having been stars before, and the siblings of the ones I wouldn't say much better or did equally well. I mean to say, look at Karishma and Bebo. Look at them. So she did it. She did well for herself. There were so many other actors who do that.
Yeah.
So it's okay. I'm happy in the space that I am. I keep doing things. I started off as an actor, then I turned a producer, then I turned a director. Now I host a chat show. So I kind of reinvent myself. I keep doing things that excite me. I keep finding a new space for me to get accepted in a very big way. Fortunately, as a filmmaker, yes, I have. With my Dabangs, I think people I probably feel that I've arrived in a certain way. Now there's onuses on me to make some really good films, to keep it up there. And as an actor, I still get jobs to do. And right now I'm on a film shoot, in Lucknow, shooting for a film. So I can't be complaining. I started my career in 1996, and look at where we are right now, and I'm still working. So so 25 years of working, I mean to say, it's good. I'm happy.
And so you just spoke about Dabangg and how it marked your arrival as a producer. In the show, in the promo, there is a question wherein Farah asks you a question कि भाई तू Dabangg के लिए sorry बोल दे, Dabangg 3 के लिए. Do
So
you
there was
think?
a tweet. It was like
Yeah,
how I asked her tweets. There
I
was
know.
a
Yeah.
So there was a tweet which is okay. Now I'm going to get back to you and say that okay, fine. There's one tweet that says कि तू Dabangg के लिए sorry मांग. So there was a lot of people who felt that whether it was 1, 2, or 3, there were people who didn't like Dabangg, and there's always going to be the case of people didn't like it. Some people wouldn't have liked it. So it was her way of saying that you putting me in a spot, making me answer all these tricky questions. How about you answering this question? And how about you saying, because if you want me to continue further, then you better apologize. So I said, okay, fine, I apologize. But actually, I'm not really apologetic about any of my films. I'm not. I mean, we all work very hard on our films, and Dabangg 3 I produced, was directed by Prabhu Deva. Salman did his hard work. Fortunately, unfortunately, sometimes films don't meet the kind of success the previous films do, and it should not deter you from moving forward. It's always a learning curve. You learn from what you think the audience expects now from you, and just like how you say thank you when something is good, you say sorry when something is not so good, and you say I'll work harder and I'll get better at it.
Correct. No, so my question to you was, do you think the character Chulbul Pandey, it's so iconic that over a period of 10 years that the element of grayness has gone down, because of which there was a certain amount of disappointment from the audience when it comes to part 3?
No, I did not analyze it as much as you did in that sense. I think we have to start reworking a few things. To some extent, we know where it's like क्या होता है ना कि postmortem is only done on a dead body, right?
Yeah.
So once the movie does well or doesn't do well, mostly when it doesn't do well is when you come to know that actually what may have not gone right with the movie. So we know a few things that obviously is on a public platform. I would like to discuss that, but we know a few things that we didn't get right in Dabangg 3, and we will be conscious of those things in 4 when we do it. Inshallah, we will do it. And because when you do a franchise, you do series, and there have been many of franchises that have done 5, 6, 7, 8, and not necessarily all of them have done well. But the brand keeps going, and in between one comes and like say for instance the Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5, God knows how many Rockies are there, but not necessarily all the Rockies have done well. There have been some that have met with lukewarm response, right?
Correct.
But they've come back with another one, and then reignited that whole spirit about the character, and made the movie again likable to everybody, and memorable for everyone. So we are also in that process. We know we've got a fantastic character. We know we've got a very good franchise, and we know that we have to work hard or harder at keeping it going, and we will do so. We will.
Correct. And so, what is the question which pinches you the most? Is it Dabangg 4 कब बनेगी, or is it something when someone asks you about your personal life?
Why would Dabangg Kab Banegi pinch me? I think that's a compliment in many ways, that people still want another one to come. You know what? I think pinch me now would only be things written about my family. And I guess that would work for most people. That when it's not even so much about yourself. At times you come to a stage where you say, no, it's not just about me, but I don't want to hear things about my father, my brothers, my son. All of those things, my sisters, my family, So I guess that's when it pinches you a bit. Apart from that, if people criticize my work, I'm pretty okay with that. I really don't care to a certain extent, because if people get bothered about but yes, if they start criticizing you about things that you in your personal life that you are not guilty of, that bothers me. So that would bother me. Like, you don't have information, you don't have the knowledge of something, and you made a perception, or you made an opinion about me without even having any kind of knowledge of what you're talking about. And you don't know whether you want to clarify those things, because how many people are you going to sit and clarify? So sometimes you just let it pass, and you're like, by giving it importance, I mean to say, I give a clarification here, I'll have to give a clarification there, and I have to just keep giving clarification all my life. So it's like, what? To hell with it. You guys want to say whatever you want, you say. When the time comes, it'll all fall into place.
What's in the plate for you as an actor from here on?
Well, I have signed up a few things. I'm already doing a web series right now with Applause Film. They are adapting an Israeli show, and so I'm part of that. And hopefully by the end of this year or maybe early next year, we'll see it released on one of the digital platforms. As far as films are concerned, there are 2 films that I'm already working on at this point in time, and I'm shooting for one currently. So these are the things that are there. There are other things that are in the pipeline which people are speaking to me about. Of course, there was so much, nobody was so sure about what was happening in the last 1.5 years. So, things were not, getting momentum. But now, yes, things are getting, offers are coming my way. I'm reading scripts. There's also a movie that I've liked under my production, which I'm trying to work on. So it's a small film, not a very big film, but a content-driven film. And I'll announce it, or I'll talk about it when I'm completely ready and to talk about it. But yes, I'm working on that. I'm in the phase of just getting the dialogue draft ready, and then the narrations are going to start. And once I get an actor on board is when I probably make an announcement.
Did anyone ever see, like, specifically Salman knowing him after the show got over? Abbe, ye kya pooch liya tune?
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. Fortunately, ऐसा नहीं है. And let me be honest. I mean, his episode is coming first, and I had it ready, and it was just getting its final touches. And I was just going to send it, and I said, why not just show it to him? So I showed it to him with this slight apprehension that he'll say, "यार ये क्या है? ये निकालो, ये हटाओ, ये इसको ऐसा करो." So I said, "चलो ठीक है, मैं भेजता हूँ. Let me see him." So I sent him on WhatsApp the episode. He calls me and he's like, "Listen." I said, "Yeah. This show of yours," like he's talking like this. I said, "Yeah. It's nice, huh? It's good." I'm like, okay, fine. And one more thing, something, you can keep all of it. So I said, are you sure? I said, I think that one element should be removed. If you want to remove that, you can remove that. But for me, it's good to go. So I said, okay, take it, good to go. So he tried to scare me. But the good thing is that, fortunately, we've not had anybody, even in the previous episodes, turn around and say, "Arey, why did you keep that?" Or "Why did that happen?" And if you notice that, if we've done with 10 big stars in the last season also, there was nothing that, was picked up in a way which was misinterpreted or, spoken badly about. And we are very mindful of the fact that our stars who come on the show, we are actually careful about, just bringing their point of view. It's never to, corner them or put them in a spot unnecessarily and, to embarrass them. Or it's not that. That's not the intention of the show. That's not what the show is. However people look at it, but that's not what the intention. It's just to give a very candid, honest, light-hearted view of what they are in their personal lives and how they deal with the social media.
Thank you so much, Arbaz. It was lovely talking to you, and wish you all the best for the show, for your production, and all the acting ventures.
Thank you.